The bliss you're seeking is on the other side of boredom. Boredom is the traverse, and a long one too. What is boredom? Have you asked yourself, what is boredom? Why so eager for entertainment? For distraction? Have you looked? What is boredom? I mean, clearly everybody knows the experience. I'm bored. Why is it a meditator can sit for hours on end in quiet and stillness, but to a prisoner of war, this would be torture? What's the difference? What is the difference between peace and boredom? So boredom really is nothing more than habituation with a mind in constant state of fluctuation. Identified in mind that is moving, moving, moving. This movement demands to be attached to objects of perception which are moving, moving, moving. And in the absence of this, it's very uncomfortable. This is why you can't sit still. It isn't a criticism. You know, I remember so much, actually. The very first time I meditated, I've told this story. The very first time I meditated, I was in a group, and they asked us to just sit still. And immediately I became aware of the chaos in my mind. It was so extremely uncomfortable to be witness. And I thought, this is some form of torture. I thought mindfulness is not so pleasant. Everybody always talked about it with such appreciation, but I thought, no, this is horrible. Mindfulness is horrible. I don't want to see what's going on in my mind. Something in that moment happened, actually, that I'll share with you. I don't think I've shared this before. In that moment, somehow, intuitively, I just began my slow exhales, sending the breath slowly up against the top of my skull. In my exhale, breathing out the nose, but somehow the breath warm, heating. And some pleasantness arose. Some pleasantness that and the chaos persisted also. So this is what you can do to bring a little pleasantness to the boredom. Deep, slow breaths and you send it up into your skull. Gently, gently, gently. Until you traverse this boredom, you will be under the influence, the control of mind. And you don't want that anymore. So really we could say that as spiritual pursuit is a headlong and moving into boredom, to be still, to keep quiet. The tumult of the mind that has in attachments to past thought, tumult of the mind is essentially fear and desire. Means not this. Means this now isn't good enough. A little too much of this and that and not enough of the other. So constantly manipulating, striving, chasing, running away, cultivating, curating even. And one who can leave it alone and be still. Not easy, but this one now will slowly, slowly begin to transcend the mind. So what you call boredom, I call peace. Happy. Without cause. Yeah? This is stillness of mind. This is, Patanjali calls it chitta vritti nirodha. This is boredom of the yogi. It's called Samadhi. You want this, but you can sit still while the mind is in chaos. The habit is so strong that you've identified with mind and thought that you think it's you, but it isn't actually. Even when the awareness of the tumult of mind dawns, still it's very common to have the misidentification, to misappropriate the I back into the mind. Identity theft. So what we can do, we sit with boredom, we find our edge, we venture further and further and further each time into boredom. The longer we sit in that, then you experience what is dharana, means not giving so much attention to my mind, to my thoughts, your mind, your thoughts. not giving them attention, they will begin to fade away. Not being able to get your attention, the thoughts will get bored and they will move away from you. But you are not bored. And you become increasingly uninterested in your thoughts. You see them as invitations into suffering, and you won't follow them anymore. But first, we come to that place of awareness and we gently allow the thoughts to pass without touching them. You come to learn that thought does not belong to me. It's not my thought, it's not my mind. It's not my mind. It belongs to past, and I am here now. Yeah?